I've been asked to show how my cider press works, so I thought I might as well show you the whole process, give you an idea of quantities and that. These are apples that have been put into the kitchen sink. It's about a sink full of apples with water in there, just rinsed and quartered. They're quartered so they'll go through the scratter easier without sucking themselves onto the side. You can see a mix of apples, red ones, green ones, crab apples, cooking apples, all just collected from local trees on the cycle tracks. That will get put into the scratter, which is basically a rotating oak drum with stainless steel countersunk screws in it, powered by a motor off, well, I bought the motor years ago. Right, there's the apples dancing around in the scratter. If you put too many in there they can jam up. And they are coming out the bottom into a washing up bowl. Now all this stuff I clean just by giving it a quick hose down. I don't mess around with chemicals, bleach or any of that nonsense. Some of the apples have been lying in the garage on the floor for weeks, but I'd periodically pick out the bad ones. You can see that's got mould on it. That's a bad apple, you throw that away. That is actually just bruised. If you smell it, that just smells sweet, so that would actually be alright, but sometimes those can smell like vinegar, in which case you can always keep it to one side and make some cider apple vinegar. But it's too easy to be too fussy and throw away a load of stuff that's perfectly good. The scratter's finished, and there's all me mashed up apple in the washing up bowl. I'm getting the press ready, so I've got a plastic washing up bowl with the front edge cut away and a little drain hole there that I'll plug with a wooden peg. I've got a block of plastic just to keep it all up to provide somewhere for the juice to drain. That's polypropylene, which is suitable for food use. It's just some stuff we had lying around as scrap at work. That's oak with grooves in for the juice to flow. Oak again is a nice food safe material. That's what your mushrooms come in from Sainsbury's. Bit of old net curtain from your mum or your wife or anyone. Just again, all just rinsed off with the hose. You put that in there like that. You load it up with a few handfuls of the squidged up pulp. Don't go too mad. If you make it too deep, it all loses a bit of stability and goes wibbly wobbly on you. You fold it up like that. Turn it out and there's your cheese. Now that will go out of shot when I put it into the press, but I'll film that bit in a minute. Now here's the last cheese. We put that on, and it's a bit tall, so it might go a bit wibbly wobbly. Then we put on another flat top plate and we sort of settle it down a bit. Now there's juice already coming out from there. Then we get the car jack, and you might need a little block under there or whatever. It just depends how much you're trying to squeeze in at any one go. And as you squeeze down, it can all tip and twist and go a bit wobbly. You can always back it off and readjust it. I don't know if you can see, we've already got juice flowing there. And you can see there's my little plug to stop it coming out. There's my demijohn. So you can get quite a bit of power just by hand. Adjust it for a nice straight push, and then let's get it going. And we tighten it up mandrolically, as my brother would say. You can get hydraulic jacks, but you'd probably burst the frame of the press if you did. I mean, if you got serious, you could get a nice square section steel tubing press welded up and use a hydraulic jack, but that defeats the object. That costs you money. This was all built for stuff that was lying around, stuff that was scrounged out the skip at work. Now this will give you an idea, because that was just a sink full of apples. The bucket that I chopped them into was a 10-litre bucket, and we'll see how much we get from one pressing. And once it's pressed, you keep the dry cake that comes out the cheeses. You stick it in a bucket with a lid on, leave it overnight, and then press it again. Once you've done all your pressing, you get all your cake and you repress it, and you can get almost as much again. The other thing is wind up the pressure as hard as you dare, put the plug in, crank it right up hard, then go and have a cup of tea, come back later and you'll see how much has really come out. You can see how much grunt I'm putting here. I don't use too long a lever because I don't want to smash this. I can go and have a cup of tea, see how much more has come out, and I'll find it will tighten down again easier because everything's sort of relaxed and got bruised up. But we've probably getting on for a couple of litres. I haven't used all the mash yet, so 2 small sinkfuls would probably give you about 5 litres. So I'll show you the dry cake coming out so you can see what it's like. You can see how flattened it is. There's the cake. Oh, I'm throwing it all over the place. Here you go, just for comparison, that's what we got from that first quick pressing. This is from the first batch 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that's, you can see that's cleared substantially, and oh, what a pretty colour that is. Makes you want to have a go at it now, doesn't it? That's stopped fermenting pretty much and can be bottled up soon.